Wait, before you scroll, before you blink, ask yourself this: how does a kid from a tiny Filipino neighborhood end up making all of America stop and stare, argue, cry, and hit replay at the same time? Because that's exactly what happened. And if this story moves you even a little, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and stay with me until the very end, because what this man did wasn't just music, it was a reminder of who we all could be. America woke up one morning to a shaky video filmed on a cracked phone. The lighting was bad, the sound wasn't perfect, and the stage was nothing more than a small outdoor platform at a street festival in California. But the moment the man opened his mouth, something shifted. He wasn't famous. He wasn't backed by a label. He didn't even look like someone who was supposed to go viral. But when he sang Elvis Presley's "Can't Help Falling in Love," the crowd went silent, and so did the internet. People didn't just hear Elvis, they felt him. And then they noticed the singer was Filipino. His name was Marco Reyes, though online he quickly became known as Filipino Elvis. Marco had grown up in a cramped house in Quezon City, where electricity outages were common and dreams felt like luxuries. His father worked overseas for years at a time, sending money home whenever he could. His mother sold food from a small street cart, waking up before sunrise every day. Music was never a career plan, it was an escape. Marco sang to drown out the noise of the streets, to fill the silence when his father was gone, to feel bigger than the life he was born into. Elvis entered his life through an old DVD his uncle left behind. The disc was scratched, skipping scenes, but Marco watched it over and over. The voice, the pain, the confidence, it felt like Elvis was singing directly to him. Marco didn't understand all the English words back then, but he understood the emotion. He practiced in secret, copying the way Elvis moved, the way he held notes like they mattered. Neighbors laughed. Kids teased him. "Why are you singing like an American?" they said. "You don't belong there." Marco smiled and kept singing anyway. Years later, Marco moved to the United States with nothing but a suitcase and his mother's blessing. Reality hit hard. He worked construction by day, washed dishes by night, and slept only a few hours in between. Music became something he did quietly, almost shamefully, in his car after work. He told himself singing was just a hobby now. Dreams were for people who could afford them. Every rejection reinforced that lie. Audition rooms where judges didn't look up. Talent shows that never called back. Comments online telling him to stick to karaoke. Then came the street festival. Marco hadn't planned to perform. The singer scheduled before him didn't show up, and the organizer asked if anyone wanted to fill in. Marco's hands shook as he walked on stage. He thought of his mother watching from the Philippines through a lagging video call, always saying, "Sing even if no one listens." So he sang. What America didn't see in that viral clip was what happened before and after. Before the song, Marco stood alone behind the stage, whispering a prayer. After the song, he sat on the curb and cried because for the first time in years, people clapped, not politely, but like they meant it. Someone uploaded the video without telling him. By the next morning, his phone wouldn't stop vibrating. Millions of views. Comments flooded in. "I have chills. Elvis would be proud. Why am I crying?" But mixed in were harsh voices too. "He's just copying. He'll never be Elvis. Why is everyone overreacting?" Marco read them all. The praise scared him just as much as the hate. Because attention brings pressure, and pressure brings fear of falling. Talk shows called. Radio hosts debated whether he was honoring Elvis or exploiting nostalgia. Some praised him as proof that music has no borders. Others questioned why America was obsessed with him. But the more they talked, the more people listened. Marco was invited to perform on a national stage. Standing under bright lights, he almost froze. The memory of being laughed at as a kid came rushing back. But then he saw a sign in the audience: "My dad loved Elvis. Thank you." He sang like his life depended on it. After the performance, a journalist asked him, "Do you think you deserve this attention?" Marco paused. His voice cracked when he answered, "I don't know if I deserve it. I just know I've been waiting my whole life to be heard." That clip spread even faster than his singing. Behind the scenes, the pressure was intense. Managers wanted him to change his look. Some told him to hide his accent when speaking. Others wanted him to lean harder into the Filipino Elvis label, turning his identity into a gimmick. Marco struggled. He didn't want to lose himself chasing acceptance. One night, he called his mother and admitted he was scared. She reminded him of the boy who sang during blackouts, not for fame, but for joy. If you lose that, she said, you lose everything. So Marco made a choice. In his next performance, he sang an Elvis song, but halfway through, he blended it with a Filipino ballad his mother used to hum while cooking. The crowd didn't know what to expect. But when the two melodies met, people stood up. Some cried openly. It wasn't just Elvis anymore. It was Marco. It was heritage, struggle, and hope wrapped into one voice. America talked again, but this time, differently. People shared stories of their own immigrant parents. Of dreams delayed but not destroyed. Of feeling invisible until one moment changed everything. Marco wasn't just Filipino Elvis anymore. He was proof that honoring your heroes doesn't mean erasing yourself. The internet eventually moved on, as it always does. But Marco didn't disappear. He used his platform to fund music programs back home. He visited schools, telling kids that sounding different isn't a weakness. It's a signature. He still sang Elvis, but he also sang songs written from his own life, songs about longing, resilience, and quiet courage. And maybe that's why America is still talking. Not because he sounded like Elvis, but because he reminded people of something they forgot, that dreams don't have passports, that talent doesn't ask permission, and that sometimes, all it takes is one voice, shaking but honest, to break the internet and open hearts. If this story inspired you, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs to believe again. Because somewhere right now, someone is singing in the dark, hoping to be heard, and stories like this prove that one day, they just might be. Blue Heart Microphone.